G'day there guys, it's your main man Markee, back at it again with another episode of r/EntitledPeople. Now if you're like me and you're entitled as hell, you better smash that subscribe button, because you're welcome here too. Anyway guys, with that out of the way, I'd love for you to sit back, relax, chuck another prawn on the barbie, and get ready for some good content. Our first story is by user Evilnunny, titled, "A New Yet Older Crazy Mother, Worse Than Entitled." I'm not an author, I'm a kinda Karen lol. I do not yell at people for no reason. However, if I feel wronged, I can and do put any hellfire full bellowing Karen to shame. I have loads of stories from my long life. I can share the funny ones mostly. Now for my backstory. I'm 63 years young now, meaning older than dirt, uglier than weak-dead roadkill, and smells just as good. Meaner than a junkyard dog full of TNT with PMS. I grow up hard. Having lived through polio, spinal meningitis, I'm gonna guess that one is typhoid, chickenpox, scarlet fever, and measles. A mother who at least once a month would chase me around the house with a carving knife, trying to send me back to hell. We will not even talk about what that man I thought was my father did. I was the youngest. 7 years older was brother, who stayed away most of the time. 9 years older was sister, who was sold into marriage. I'm 5 years old. First story, 60 years ago. Mother will not let us kids take clothing into the bathroom when we take a bath. This was before showers in army housing. No venting to keep clothes dry, so we had to run the bedroom with a towel wrapped around us. I just gotten out of the bathtub, opened the door to go to the bedroom I shared with my sister and brother. I see my mother with the knife in her hand, calling me the devil and coming at me, dropping the towel. I duck under her arm and run down the stairs and out the door. I'm in my birthday suit. My brother and sister are chasing me around with cloths. I'm so scared, I'm not letting them near. So that I'm chasing around the army housing, but naked. I hide in a small box somebody threw out, and nobody found me. I went home after Mum fell asleep, and it was safe. No, my mother was not a druggie or a boozer. She was just plain and truly crazy. P.S. If you would like to know more, let me know. Things like arm cuts, dog bites, real bull chases. Not the running of the bulls, lol. Next story, 2. My mum spent more time in the nut house than out. Understand, I love my mum, and I have never known her with a normal mind. I learned early that she was just sick and there was nothing we could do about her or for her. This was before Child Protective Services, and it was thought that the parent owned the children. Ready for the next story of my life, lol. Backstory. Each time Mum would go to the nut house, we would go to family. I to my grandma's and sister and brothers to father's. I was not allowed to even know about my true father. You'll see later stories. After she came back and sister and brother were put back into school, she would come get me, so all I know was that I went to visit Grandma and Papa. Now to the story. At the front of my house, there was an iron gate that latched together plush. I would swing on the gate for something to do when bored. Brother and sister were in school. Important later. This man walks down the sidewalk and thinks the gate goes all the way through and gives me a hard push, thinking I would ride back and forth until it stops. I got one hand off, but didn't get the other off before the gate slammed shut, almost cutting my finger off. The man is horrified at what he did, goes to the door and gets Mum, then takes us to the hospital, where they sewed my 4 fingers up and put bandages on my hand, not a whimper out of me. They gave me something that knocks me out, and I'm out of it for about 3 days. That was the day the man I thought was my father met my mum, sister and brother don't like him. After the weekend is over, they go back to school. This is the first time I know they are here too, and they go to school. Mum calls me in for lunch. Remember, I'm only 3. I run the 3 block to the school my sister and brother goes to. I search every room until I find my sister and tell her it's time to come home for lunch. Being a little Karen, I wouldn't stop pulling her and yelling at the teacher that it was lunchtime and she had to come home, with a bandaged hand so dirty that you could grow tomatoes on it. The teacher and principal are chuckling. They let her and brother bring me home. I didn't know that sister and brother stayed at school all day. I didn't know what school was. My sister, who showed me love when mum thought that I was the devil. Let me know that she was not leaving me but had to go to school Monday through Friday. P.S. I hope I'm doing this right. My stories might seem disjointed, but they're true as I remember them again. I'm not a writer and have motor deficiency, so am legally blind. I can type 32 words a minute with one finger, with eyes about 4 inches away from the keyboard. Please forgive me if I don't capitalize eyes and names, lol. Next story, 3. In my life happens on Halloween. My sister found a white one-piece jumper, put cardboard ears on a white hood, and made me rib it. Put cotton balls on the back for the tail, taking me to the community center for the Halloween party. First party I had ever been to. One of the other partygoers had a dog that he set on me because I was a ribbit. I ran into the street, getting hit by a car. I was not hurt, just scared of the boy, not the dog. I was small, very small for 3. It looks more like 1 or 2. My sister said I was her living baby doll. The boy didn't like me because I was dark-skinned. I'm not black, I'm Indian, flat head. I run home, my brother and sister went back to the party. And last one, I'll be away from the keyboard for a while. My grandbaby's school asked me to make masks for her school. I make custom masks for chemo friends, and she wore one to school yesterday. I'm kinda stuck, lol. I can make for her class in about 3 days. It seems that the masks are going to be a problem here soon. That was pretty wholesome. Thank you for sharing your stories, Evilnunny. I really appreciate that on the channel. Thank you for opening up with us, I guess. And I hope you enjoyed my reading of it today. Anyway, there's nowhere to move but forward from here, and we've got 2 more stories to cover. Our next one is by Baby Lonical, titled, Drunk Driver Just Killed a 23-year-old and posted on Facebook from her hospital bed how bad she felt for not being able to go drinking with her friends. Jesus. Sorry for the rant, and being on mobile, and yada yada. But this happened a few days ago, and hits too close to home, as I know the drunk driver, and can't fathom how she's apparently more entitled to alcohol than the other driver was entitled to her own life. She took down the Facebook post after getting bad reactions. Wow, who'da thunk? But I know a few people who have screenshots from group chat rants. Not sure if it's okay to share, though considering the collision is now an ongoing homicide investigation. But for real, what the frick? She struck another car head-on because she was drunk and in the wrong lane, and killed a 23-year-old woman, ended up in critical condition herself, and upon gaining consciousness, decided to post to her friend's page how she wished she could celebrate her friend's birthday and slam down some drinks with her, and then added, "But we will soon." I swear to God, and this is coming from someone who loves to drink and party, responsibly. People like this need to be banned from ever having another sip of anything but the water for the rest of their lives. Okay, rant over. Sorry about that. And our last post is by user Ania12345, titled, Entitled Lady Scolds Me for Sitting at a Table I've Reserved. So yesterday, I had arranged to have an early birthday dinner with my friends. I reserved a table at a nice pizza place and arrived early to the restaurant. I am seated at my table and waited for my friends to arrive. As I'm sitting there, I see a woman keep glaring at me from her table. She's with a friend who doesn't even notice me. They paid, and her friend went to the bathroom or something. This lady comes up and starts talking. Our cast are me, Entitled Lady, and the Magic Waiter. Entitled Lady says, "You shouldn't be sitting here." Well, I reserved this table. I'm just waiting for my friends. Bigger parties need these tables. You shouldn't be selfish and take a big table just for yourself. It's my birthday. My friends are just running late. I've reserved these seats, and I am in the right to sit here. I'm gonna tell the waiter and have you kicked out. Okay, he's the one who sat me here, so go nuts. Entitled Mother starts trying to wave down the Magic Waiter like somebody would a passing ship. And they're like, "Excuse me?" And Magic Waiter's like, "Yes, is there a problem? Yes, this child is hogging a table for herself. Bigger parties would need this table. She reserved the table for her birthday. Then why is she alone? My friends are just running late." And I show Magic Waiter the message from my friend. Magic Waiter reads the message and is like, okay, looks at EL and says, please leave this young lady alone. You've paid, so please leave. And she huffs, huh, fine. You'll see what happens when a big party comes in and she's hogging the table. And Entitled Lady storms out with her friend who had just come back from the bathroom. My friends arrived shortly after. I had a great early birthday dinner, and Magic Waiter did 2 card tricks for my friends and I. And that is epic. Don't know why people confront others like this, but hey, sometimes you just gotta yell at someone in public, get their mangas out, you know? Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode today. Tell me what you thought about Entitled People. It's a semi-popular one, but I just loved those first stories. Anyway guys, I don't know what else to say, my brain's all over the place. I hope you have a good night, day, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.